Hello viewers, myself Muthukumar, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Welltech Multitech, Dr. Rangarajan, Dr. Surendra Engineering College. In this video, I am going to explain to you about the natural fiber reinforced composites for a sustainable automobile. First of all, we will see about the categories of the engineering composites. They are in the form of polymer based composites called FRP. The metal based composites are called metal matrix composites, and the ceramic matrix composites are called CMCs, the ceramic matrix composites. The reinforcements are either particulate, discontinuous or continuous. The reinforcement come in variety of shapes. They may be flakes, they may be filaments, and they may be spheres or even tubular in shapes. So what we have to do is understand about this with a case study of natural fiber in this presentation. To introduce with this, we are taking natural fiber composites like the Remy pineapple and similar components. They are known to be lightweight, eco-friendly and very cost-effective alternative to the synthetic materials. So the way fibers are arranged in the composite, it is known as the fiber orientation. They may be having 0 degree, 45 degree or even the perpendicular and parallel fashions with respect to the next stacks. What is the importance of this kind of orientation? Because it plays crucial role in determining the overall strength and flexibility for a stack of such arrangements called the lamina. So in a study conducted for different orientations like unidirectional, bidirectional and random orientations, the results will show unidirectional to have the strength but low flexibility because they have to move in multiple directions upon the loading conditions. Whereas the bidirectional and angled orientation are having good flexibility as well as moderate to high strength. So it is better to go for a bidirectional and angled orientation such as this 30, 40 and 60 degree in a staggered formation. When we go for the random orientation distributed, the strength is very even because it is not having any flaws with respect to directional orientation, but overall its weakness will be there for the overall performance. So in a fiber arrangement there will be improved durability, and for making composites of applications such as this automobile construction, aerospace and other engineering fields, we need to find out through proper experimentation what is the optimum requirements. When we talk about the natural fiber composites, it is not entirely having disadvantages. They are having actually many advantages because not much of the naturally available resources like the fruits what we are talking about, fruit peel-offs are not much researched about because they are originally intended for the purpose of consumptions. So many of the studies of single fiber composites or synthetic fiber, they have an alternative. They have fiber alternatives, and they are having a gap in the understanding, like how natural fibers perform together when arranged in different patterns. This is what is called as this stack orientations. And fiber placement affects the strong and the durability of the composite, that is overall composite strength. Finding the best fiber alignment is the key for improvement of the performance. For different application, different orientations and different stack arrangements works. So for automobile, when we say for vehicle or the construction of materials or even sports equipments, the optimum number of stacks and optimum orientation is to be arrived according to the usage patterns. So when we take a study on testing the different fiber orientations for Rami and pineapple fiber reinforced composites, we will know what is the difference between them. What we are going to see is the behavior of the material, the mechanical behavior in terms of the tensile strength, structural strength, impact strength, which will affect the optimum arrangement of the fiber. And the composite material, generally when it is polymer reinforced, there is a thermoset resin will be there as a standard medium or the base, and whatever standard methods are there, that is to be ensured for accurate results. When we talk about two such natural fibers which are reinforcements inside the composites, the first thing what we take into consideration is the rami, which is a plant fiber. It is generally known to be lightweight, and since it absorbs moisture very quickly drying, and it is not known for its unique properties of replacement with the glass fibers. So it is to be blended with the glass, cotton or wool for clothing. That is what the natural fiber application in the garment industry is nowadays. Besides these textiles, they can be used for any standalone applications like rope, net, upholstery, and even for making papers, and even for making the banknotes, which are a sustainable way of making use of these resources. So main advantages are its strength and durability when compared to the other kind of fibers, and other than the suster and absorbency, it has low shrinkage when it is in the composite form. There is a breathability, which is a plus point when it is made into the textile form. But when it comes to the composites meant for automobile panels, the same thing can also be a negative factor in terms of making the flaw expanded in local regions. So, see further the second case of the pineapple fibers. The pina fiber is coming from leaves of the pineapple plant. As we know, it is a commonly edible fruit, and it is very light, but we can feel with our own hand when we are eating it. But it is strong when you can see, stronger than this banana fibers, and has silky feeling, and it is great for clothing. It is also a substitute for this rami fiber. For traditional Filipino outfits, uh, like the barong, taglang, this is generally used as a fiber. It is a eco-friendly fiber, meaning that it will undergo complete disintegration upon leaving to the atmosphere. It is biodegradable, and since it is leftover pineapple leaves, it is a sustainable way of making use of the natural resources. Again, it's used for different applications like embroidery, luxury cloth, paper ropes, and handmade crafts. To compare with these advantages, they are eco-friendly, they have high strength and durability when compared to the nearer uh, equivalents. They are again lightweight like the lemming. They have softness, which is an improved advantage when compared to the rami in terms of the texture of the garments. And it is used for versatile application when we can see it in used as a rope material also, since it is having considerable strength. This is the typical look of a rami fiber fabric, which is knitted in two directions. And the directions are usually here horizontal and vertical. You can see a small piece of cloth is there, and this can be made into stock when subjected to the thermoset resin inside a particular mold. And then we see equivalent to pineapple fiber, a close knit fiber of smaller fiber uh, sizes. This is the typical look of a pineapple fiber based fabric. Okay. can make use of any one of them or even both of them. And how many of you say the other fibers are also useful? People will say, sir, why not the banana fiber? The banana fiber is the fiber which is coming up in recent days as a textile resource alternative. Number of biodegradable materials, uh, the material intended for the fabric use is also coming up with this because the fiber itself is very strong. It can be suitable for very comfortable conditioning of any human who is wearing it, right? Okay, let's delve into the process of converting this pineapple or rami fiber into the fabric for what we have seen earlier. So this fabrication process starting with alkali treatment or saline treatment, which is improving the bond as well as reducing the moisture absorption, because when it is absorbing moisture, it will also eat up lot of uh, this thermoset resin, and it will not have a proper uh, drying upon leaving it. After drying at room temperature, and the fibers are arranged in a mold based on the required orientation, whether aligned for strength, woven for balance, or random. It will have the different flexibility according to the nature what we are using it as a multiple orientation. The thermoset resin is usually called as a epoxy resin with a hardener, and commercial resin cum hardener we can see one part is mixed more, another part is mixed less. It is around 20 percentage maximum hardener usage. Remaining part is 80 to 90 percentage. The resin will fill up the mold cavity where these alternative stacks of this fabric are kept. They are poured in the poured over the fibers. And usually in a mylar fiber, mylar sheet, these fibers are placed over a single coating of the epoxy resin, wherein this proper value of hardener is already mixed in, and successively these fibers are placed, fabrics are placed in a alternative manner. So the fibers are made sure they cover the entire space of the mold. The shape of the composite, whatever is also possible to be applied in the mold, like a cavity or any raised portion. The compression mold then applies. There will be a male and female part of the mold, which will get compressed in between the hydraulic press, and the pressure is also applied. This will usually be obtained in the room temperature or even in a oven for solidification. So some of the solidifications of epoxy resins will require elevated temperatures. It depends upon what resin we are using. There is a vacuum bagging mold which will remove the air bubbles or the air inside and create a negative pressure inside the bag, which will pressurize with the external pressure from the atmosphere because of the vacuum created in the middle. That was very suitably used in the earlier processes meant for discontinuous fibers called the hand layup methods. So that can be also used for this bonding of fiber along with the epoxy resins here. Once it is cured, the composite is to be carefully removed. Proper tools are available for removing the uh, cured or the prepared composite from the mold cavity, like what we use for the foundry tool. We can also use certain removal tools without affecting the texture or the overall uh, arrangement of this mold. They will certainly have additional runoff of the uh, particular resin or even untreated, uncured spaces in the extreme edges. They may be trimmed with scissors and, if required, polished, made into a final shape of, say, 200 to 200 or 300 to 200, whatever shapes we require for final mechanical testing. So the mechanical and thermal test is then uh, to be checked for strength, flexibility and durability. And we go across different testing machines in this particular presentation, just to know the ASTM standard orientations for uh, making these processes done in order to check for the suitability of the particular composites. This process results in a lightweight, strong, eco-friendly material when we are doing it in the mold cavity as a oven-based or room temperature based pressurization. This is very perfect for automotive lightweight applications, and number of the Valvo buses have this discontinuous fibers based resins which are creating beautiful textures on the outside of the automotives. Even for aerospace material, for uh, making certain points painted with this particulate material, or even for repairing certain parts also we can use this kind of materials. And basically for the construction applications, for making the mold or keeping the heavier weight of the steel, we can usefully make use of this kind of fibers, since number of items are degraded because of the rusting, and they are hard to move from one place to another place. So these lightweight applications are prospective candidates for construction applications, which look uh, very heavy in terms of the metal usage. Finally, we come to the standard testing machines which are possible to be used. This is a typical hardness testing machine, which is having a vinyl hardness testing machine, and the universal testing machine, which is used for knowing the single specimen material. And this is a structural strength testing machine, and we know this is a sharp impact testing for different orientations of the specimen. We can get the out. Finally, we come to the end of this slide. If we have any queries, we can post this queries in the comment section of this YouTube, which is shortly going to be uploaded to you. And I am always available for replying your basic queries on the composite materials, since it is of my expertise in the doctoral degree, particularly this powder-based metal matrix composites, or even the ceramic-based composites. So people who are of interest to make projects in this area, you can feel free to drop a mail to me at the mail ID called Muthukumar, my name, at the rate of welltechmultitech.org. Any kind of interactions you want to make use, okay, yeah, I'm free and available with the college timings itself, within the college timings. You can make use of these initial thoughts to make a first of its your kind, first of your kind